I'm Laura Ingraham. This is the Ingraham Angle from what feels like a banana republic tonight. The deep state's revenge, that is the focus of tonight's angle.
Can I just stop and just take a breath real quick? A former president's home has been searched now by a number of FBI agents. When you look at this in the view of sort of 30,000 feet and history, Maggie, I'll start with you. How big of a moment is this? Is this a moment we are all going to remember?
Yes, we're all going to remember being together on this night, because this is a night where you are going to remember where you were.
Yes, Wile E. Coyote thinks he finally caught the Roadrunner. Well, the search warrant served on Mar-a-Lago this morning had Donald Trump's name on it. But the real target of this investigation isn't Trump. The real target of this investigation is you, or anyone who dares to call out and take on the rank corruption of the D.C. establishment. This is the deep state's revenge. They're trying to show all of us that we'll be destroyed if we fight them, if we question the repeated failures of the Pentagon leadership, if we make serious, and I'm talking about serious moves to disrupt the status quo here in Washington. You know, the status quo that protects the powerful as long as they play the game. Now, for decades, they got away with selling us out by letting in 20 million illegals flooding across our border. They sold us out by sending our manufacturing jobs to China. They sold us out by wasting trillions on stupid wars in the Middle East. And now they're selling us out by wasting billions more in Ukraine. A year after 13 of our service members were murdered in Afghanistan due to our own generals' incompetence. And think about this tonight, still no one has been fired. You think Trump would have ever put up with any of this? And if he got back into power, they know he would hold all the right people accountable for what they've done. If the DOJ had a real serious case against Trump that was threatening the Republic, they would have charged him months ago. But the word had obviously gone out from the White House that he needed to be punished and he needed to be tormented in any way possible before the midterms. And of course, you can always count on the press, right? To never question the powers that be, when the powers that be are Democrat.
The Biden White House, outside the actual White House, not in the Justice Department, they didn't know. They were blindsided. Given how buttoned up and cautious Merrick Garland is, especially with something as sticky as this, it's hard to imagine that they gave the White House a heads up.
I do agree. I would be stunned if anybody in the White House, including the president, knew.
Yeah, that's the critical thinking that they do. But the best tonight, I think, is Andrew McCabe, the disgraced former deputy director of the FBI. He was chiming in. And at the standard now, this is wild, it's apparently that if a search warrant is issued, the subject must be guilty.
The FBI would not have taken a step as drastic and serious as this unless they had good information to indicate that this was the result of some knowing, willful, intentional acts of removing classified documents or sensitive documents, documents in violation of some federal laws.
From the man who was a proven liar about his having talked to the Wall Street Journal, who had an obvious vendetta against Trump going back to 2015. Yeah, he's credible. They're obsessed. They're obsessed with knocking Trump out of the political arena. And it's obviously hurt him personally and politically. But this also hurts our trust in our system of government. Because we all see the Justice Department's leadership now for what it is. It's not the image of Lady Justice operating with a blindfold. But this is a Praetorian Guard that shields all of those who hold the real power in this town. Surveillance, subpoenas, search warrants, they're the weapons of choice, which is what they deploy against you when they're threatened by you. They harass your friends, they make you spend money, and look, most people, they're not going to tolerate this. They're going to go through it, which is why the deep state usually has its way. But Trump is not most people. And Trump isn't the only target. Liz Cheney has already said that Ron DeSantis is too close to Trump. She can't support him. And I think we can all assume that we're going to get similar treatment if DeSantis gets anywhere near the White House. So they want to scare all of us into being silent. They don't believe that the GOP is legitimate unless it's controlled by the establishment types. And they're going to oppose anyone who tries to make real policy changes. And they're going to use every weapon they have. But we know all this now. We don't believe in the deep state anymore. We don't trust their titles. We're not impressed by their badges. The principled civil servants inside our government, the ones who still like to call balls and strikes, they're smothered by all those who choose corruption and cronyism over professionalism. So I saw them all tonight on the other nets. They were celebrating tonight. But Merrick Garland may have just done more to rally the conservative base than inflation and high gas prices ever could. Imagine what these people would have said if the Trump DOJ had executed a search warrant on Hillary Clinton's home or her home office. Anyone remember the Clinton Foundation State Department scandals? No search warrants there. Hunter Biden, he's being investigated by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Delaware. No search warrant there. No Merrick Garland authorized raid. Eric Holder, he was held in contempt of Congress. No accountability there. These people, though, I think they all know their time is almost up. So they're strafing the landscape in one last pathetic burst. We don't know where this so-called investigation is going to end up, but given the recent anti-Trump history of this DOJ and FBI, there is no reason that Trump supporters should trust motivations or the outcome here. Conservatives are coming back to power, probably in 2024. And when we come back, they will be sorry that they abused the power of our intel agencies, our federal law enforcement, and even our military. And P.S., watch what happens to Liz Cheney next week in Wyoming. And then you'll know what's coming for the establishment that's so gleeful about this morning's search warrant. And that's The Angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.